Hello everyone and welcome to a quick Veeam version 9 installation tutorial. Veeam introduced a few things with version 9, so we want to take advantage of that. This install is going to cover at least the initial portion of the install. Few things that were exciting for us at least was WAN acceleration to cloud services providers. So if you've got a partnered data center or Amazon or Azure data center, this allows you to back up or replicate into that environment. Allows you to do direct NFS backups, integrates with EMC for snapshots, and a few other great things. Having said that, I'm going to actually jump right into the installation. Got a Windows 2008 R2 server here with the Veeam version 9 ISO attached to it. As soon as I install it, actually wants .NET framework as a prerequisite. So I'm going to allow it to pick that. I actually have sped this video up in certain portions so we can be more efficient with our time. So you're going to see it kind of churn through right now. Let's allow it to run through, and we're going to jump in as the next portion into the actual Veeam installation. So the wizard's going to come up here any minute now. I have prepared and downloaded my license files, and you've got multiple revisions to pick from. We've got version and the Enterprise and Enterprise Plus revisioning. The key differentiators there's many, but the ones we take away is Enterprise allows you to do WAN acceleration to a cloud services provider, where if you have Enterprise Plus, you can perform WAN acceleration to a service provider and to your own separate data center. This portion is just the installation directories. I'm going to leave it alone on the C drive. I've also got an E drive that I want to use for backups to disk, and in the end being that I can do a disk to disk to cloud backup. And these are some of the dependencies. I've obviously failed them. This is a brand new server installation, so a great thing, Veeam's actually going to go ahead and install them for me, and going to allow it to just finish up the dependencies install, and we're going to get into the second portion of it, which is actually reviewing the ports and settings, and you'll see that here as soon as I hit the next button. So I'm going to leave this alone at the defaults. When you hit the check mark, you're able to differentiate which ports do you want. You know, if you've got a service account that you want to use, I'm just going to leave it alone. It's going to use my local service account, and go ahead and install SQL Server. That's actually shipped out with Veeam onto the server. Works just fine. And the second portion of this install, which is just part of the same wizard, is the Veeam backup and replication software installation. So we'll give it a minute here and allow it to finish up. This is again fast forwarded. You can see the shortcut that showed up on the left, which is the actual application that I'm going to use to manage my Veeam application server. So at this point, I'm just going to minimize and close out these other windows and click on my shortcut to start the application. One thing that was interesting to us, which works every time now after speaking to Veeam support, is that if you reboot your server and you try to hit the connect button, this one right here, and it doesn't work for you, don't worry, wait about 2-3 minutes and try again. Veeam just takes a little bit of time sometimes to bring up the services, and that was pretty much consistent for us. So we're going to go ahead and run it and get into the Veeam UI, which should come up here in a second. And at this point, we're getting to the end of this tutorial, with the second tutorial being how to configure the second portion of it. So this is just a pure installation of the software, attaching your license file, and putting in the prerequisites and dependencies, and bringing up Veeam. In here, you basically would set up the second components, which is, if you've got WAN acceleration you want to add. You can actually set up your backup repositories here, so if that's a data store or another storage drive. And if you go to manage servers here, this is where you would attach your VMware host, Hyper-V host, and other systems that Veeam should be working against to back up this environment. So just a quick tutorial here to run through a Veeam installation. Hopefully this was educational and helpful, and we appreciate definitely. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.